Hey guys, today I'm gonna make a quick tutorial about how to crystal PvP, because it's a really cool PvP mechanic, and it's also a pretty hard PvP mechanic, so I figured I'd make a tutorial on just a little ways you could do better in crystal PvP. Okay guys, so a very important thing is to have keybinds. So make sure you could easily switch between this stuff and this stuff. Have also a bind for your totem. Makes it easier, so then you could quickly switch to that if you need to. And also, you always want to have the low ground in a crystal PvP fight, because this guy's going to take a lot more damage if he's standing above. Like, watch this. Right here, if I stand here and blow up this crystal, a little bit of damage. If I stand here, it popped my totem. So you always want to be on the low ground in a crystal PvP fight. And speaking of the totem is gone, you're going to want to be able to learn how to quickly switch to go put another totem back in your inventory. And now what you also see me doing with the crossbow is the crossbow has slow fall arrows, which one, help counter mace PvPers like this one, and two, help with anchoring, because then you get to the bottom first. You can start spamming crystals, and you basically are very protected. Okay, so the reason I just killed him so easily was he was in the air, and like I said, being in the air, you don't want to be above the crystal. You want to be on the same height as you want to be not on the same height as the crystal, not like there, not above it, but below it one, or below it two. Look, no damage. So that's a very important tip that I used to get a lot better quickly. And then with the respawn anchor strategy, is what a lot of people who are like new to crystal PvP will do, is they'll fill it. I'm trying to have a tutorial here. Okay. Is they'll fill it all the way, and then again, and it blows up. But a much more efficient way is to anchor, fill it once, back to something other than the glowstone, and right click it, and it'll blow up way faster. See, I was on the high ground there, so that's why I lost. Other mechanics you should know is, so coming in, when you first anchor, you want to get down low. And what I'm doing there to crystal so fast is I'm just alternating my right click and left click. So basically, like, just doing that is really efficient. Actually, here's a footage of how to do that, because it's kind of like a butterfly click. Okay, and how you saw how I changed my totem like that? How you want to do that is basically, say this is your totem, right? It just got popped. You're gonna want to press the keybind to get to this one. Press your offhand slot open. Don't shift click. Do this. And now I'm just about to die because I didn't have totems. And then you're gonna also, with the crossbow, if you ever get hit with slow falling, that was really stupid. But if you ever get hit with slow falling and you just anchored and you're fighting for this bottom slot, pearl in. Because if they get there before you, you are dead. Like, watch. Oh. So then, yeah, you can also like try to push them out, and if they're elytraing, get them when they're like flying by your crystal. Say this is me, right? They're trying to spear me. When they're right here, I don't know the crystal place, but when they're right there, quick, and it'll pop their totem, maybe kill them. Because the elytra is not an armor piece. Now, you should also be very aware of your armor and how much durability it has left, because once you break a piece of your armor, you are set to lose the fight. So, I have a mod called Uku's Armor HUD, and it's basically just shows that, but I know Lunar Client has their own, and there's a bunch of other ones. And basically the reason you want to do that is because most of these armor pieces here have mending. So yeah, they'll always have mending, which means you could repair them with XP bottles or experience. So that's why you have these here. And what you're gonna want to do with those is once your armor durability gets low, just pearl far away, switch it with a slot, and then preferably something that you're not gonna need to use just in case they pearl you, and start butterfly clicking your right click. Okay, so as you can see on my armor HUD, my helmet is low durability. So what I'm going to do in this situation is go right here, switch it with that, and just start like XP. They're gonna creep up on you, so you gotta be aware of that. Ooh. And then there's like a few other like things. So if you're playing on PvP Club, which is the most popular PvP server, so I'm assuming that you are, and other ones are gonna have this too probably, you're gonna see this, and just remember, if your opponent's here, don't try to push them onto if your opponent's here, don't let them push you onto here, and if they do, pearl down really quickly, because if they're here, you are going to get that's gonna happen to you, and that does a lot more damage. There's also like a lot of just practice over time involved with Crystal, but like I'm actually fairly new to it, but yeah, you want to push them here, and when you're here, you're getting knocked back so fast you can't do anything. But I'd say Crystal is definitely worth learning, because if you're gonna play on servers like the Donut SMP, or just want to be like known for PvP, you see, that's what happens if you're like there. Also, this is a mechanic. It's slower, but you literally take 0 damage. So as you can see, we both pearled. And also, any point that you can, have 2 totems in your hand. Like, after you could crystal and stuff, like, don't be shy for that, but just make sure to hold it there as much as you can, because it's a lot easier to switch your pieces to switch to your add another totem. If you could if you keep the one in your offhand, because if you're holding 2 totems and you lose one, it's gonna be the one in your main hand, not your offhand, which means all you have to do is open this, press your keybind. And if you're confused about what are optimal keybinds and what are good keybinds, leave a comment, because I'll work on getting a video out explaining how to have good keybinds for PvP. Because it's not only Crystal that requires keybinds. If you really want to be good at any PvP game mode, you're gonna need to have good keybinds and not just be using the scroll wheel. Well, you could use the scroll wheel for some stuff, but like your main items that you're gonna be using, you want to use the keybinds. Okay, though, that's really all for just the start of Crystal. But if you want more tutorials on different PvP styles, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment your PvP style that you want to see next. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.